Kim Possible has taken on supervillains, global threats, and school drama, all while keeping up with her homework. From stopping Dr. Drakken's evil plans to saving the world with her best friend Ron Stoppable and his pet naked mole rat Rufus, Kim proves that being a hero isn't just about superpowers, it's about skill. In the first episode of the series, Kim Possible faces detention after being late to class 3 times, jeopardizing her reputation as a cheerleader. Meanwhile, she learns that a bug researcher's experimental robotic tick has been stolen by Shego, who works for the evil Dr. Drakken. Kim's first detention block is cut short when Ron and Rufus stage a fake mutant breakout, allowing her to investigate Drakken's Caribbean lair. Captured by Drakken and placed in a shark pool, Kim and Ron escape using a new gadget, the elastic constricting agent in Kim's lipstick, and overhear Drakken's plan to weaponize the robotic tick with nano-explosives. After the lair self-destructs, thanks to Kim deflecting Drakken's own lasers, Kim returns home, only to discover she's been reassigned to detention for the ruse with Rufus. During detention, she finds that the stolen nanotick has been attached to her nose and is set to explode. Fleeing with Ron, they're pursued by both Drakken and Mr. Barkin. Eventually cornered at Bueno Nacho, Kim battles Shego while Ron uses the hovercraft just before it explodes. Though Drakken's plan fails, Kim still must serve detention, this time befriending her fellow detainees, much to Mr. Barkin's dismay. In the next episode, Kim Possible wants a trendy new jacket but needs money, so she and her best friend Ron Stoppable get jobs at Bueno Nacho. Ron quickly excels and becomes assistant manager, putting Kim in the awkward position of working for him. Meanwhile, the villainous Dr. Drakken has stolen a giant laser drill to tap into the Earth's magma in Wisconsin, using a massive cheese wheel as cover. When Kim tries to leave work to stop Drakken, Ron, now her boss, won't let her go mid-shift. She quits and heads off alone, getting captured. Ron rushes to help but is also caught. However, Ron's pet mole rat Rufus frees them, and they sabotage Drakken's drill by melting the cheese around it, trapping Drakken and Shego. Although Kim never earned her paycheck, Ron uses his to buy her the jacket, only to discover someone else, Ned, wearing the same one. Kim and Ron decide to exchange it, realizing it's not as special anymore. In the next episode, Kim and Ron begin by climbing a mountain, where Kim saves a wounded baby eagle by parachuting to safety. Meanwhile, Kim's father reminds her about a family game night with her cousin Larry, whom Kim dreads because he's an obsessive gamer geek. Ron, on the other hand, is intrigued by Larry's gaming interests. Wade then sends Kim and Ron to help renowned archaeologist Monty Fisk in retrieving a mysterious monkey artifact. Ron, who's terrified of monkeys, immediately dislikes Monty, especially after Monty criticizes his remarks about primates. That night, a ninja steals the monkey artifact right under Kim's nose. Monty seems upset but acts oddly. At home, Kim learns she must attend a family dinner with Larry. She plans to meet Monty first, but feels obligated to honor her commitment. Wade offers a Hollow Kim to stand in for her, so Real Kim goes to dinner, and Hollow Kim, along with Ron, visits Monty. There, Monty reveals he's the ninja and has collected all 4 monkey artifacts. He's even mutated his hands and feet to become part monkey in his quest for Tai Shing Pek Kwar, monkey kung fu. Monty attacks Ron, intending to eliminate any witnesses. Unable to assist in person, Kim patches Ron through to Larry, who draws on his gaming knowledge for tips. Ron uses the artifacts himself, temporarily becoming monkey-powered alongside his pet mole rat Rufus. Though Ron fights bravely, Monty's training gives him the upper hand until Rufus topples the artifacts, forcing Monty into a clumsy scramble that leaves him wide open to Ron's final strike. Later, Monty is arrested and the artifacts are destroyed. Ron hurries to join Kim and Larry, where he and Larry bond over their shared love of games. Kim, seeing that her cousin has finally made a friend, leaves them to enjoy a sci-fi movie together. In the other episode, Kim becomes determined to ask her crush, Josh Mankey, to the school's Spirit Week dance, but repeatedly loses her nerve. Meanwhile, Dr. Drakken steals an assembly line in Tokyo for a secret scheme, causing Kim and Ron to jet off to stop him. Ron mistakenly believes Drakken wants to steal Christmas, but Kim suspects a plan for world domination. After several close calls, like getting trapped by laser sensors and battling Shego in Drakken's mountain lair, Kim overrides Drakken's giant robot warrior with help from Wade, forcing Drakken's plan to collapse. Back at school, Kim finally musters the courage to ask Josh to the dance, and he accepts. On the big night, Kim enjoys dancing with Josh, while Ron ends up stuck in a janitor's closet, and Bonnie sulks without a date. Kim briefly notices a mission alert, but decides to focus on the moment, turning off her Kimmunicator to keep dancing with Josh. In the other episode, Kim and Ron eject from a fighter jet and parachute to school, where Kim learns that the photography elective is filling up fast. However, after helping Ron get down from a flagpole, they discover that all their preferred electives are full, leaving them with only one option: home economics. Meanwhile, at Senior's Island, Senior helps Shego to tutor Junior in villainy, believing he lacks ambition. Shego begins begins training Junior with a series of burglaries and combat exercises. At school, Kim is unhappy about home economics, while Ron excels in baking, impressing Mr. Barkin. Ron's skills lead to him becoming the class instructor, turning home economics into a school-wide dining experience, while Kim is relegated to dishwashing duty. Jealous and frustrated, Kim asks Wade for a mission. Investigating a series of thefts, Kim and Ron trace the culprits to Junior and Shego. Junior, under Shigo's training, plans to steal Granny Crockett's secret cookie recipe, believing it to be the most valuable and heavily guarded item. However, Kim and Ron anticipate their move, stealing the recipe first and leaving a taunting note. A battle ensues at the cookie factory. Junior uses his new combat skills against Ron, but Rufus ultimately subdues him. Meanwhile, Kim applies Ron's baking advice to escape from a giant mixing bowl of chocolate and defeats Shego. Junior and Shego escape, but are picked up by Senior, who releases Shego from her tutoring role. Shego parts ways with Drakken, choosing her own path. Back at school, Kim finally embraces home economics, even after Ron tells her that photography now has open spots. In the other episode, Ron is forced to move to Norway just as a team of villains, Drakken, Shego, Duff Killigan, and Monkey Fist, steals the Time Monkey, an artifact allowing them to alter history. Visiting Kim from the future, Rufus 3000, a distant relative of Ron's pet mole rat, reveals that the true threat is the Supreme One, secretly Shego. Traveling through various points in Kim's childhood and teen years, the villains attempt to prevent her from becoming a hero. Despite their efforts, Kim's natural bravery and Ron's help thwart Drakken, Killigan, and Monkey Fist. However, Shego escapes to the future, where she rules the world as a dictator. Kim, Ron, and their allies, including grown-up versions of Wade, the Possible Twins, and countless mole rats, launch a final assault on Shigo's fortress, discovering that she's engineered Ron's move to Norway to weaken Kim. In the ensuing battle, Ron's anger at being uprooted unleashes unexpected strength. He and Kim destroy the Time Monkey, undoing Shigo's altered timeline. Kim and Ron return to the present with no memories of their adventure, except Ron suddenly knows he hates meat cakes from Norway. The world is restored to normal, and their lives continue as if nothing had happened. In the next episode, the Possible family is celebrating Christmas in their usual elaborate way, with even Nana Possible joining in. Although Ron is Jewish, he enjoys celebrating with them, especially watching the 6 tasks of Snowman Hank. However, he's devastated when the special is cancelled and replaced with Extreme Xmas, until Kim cheers him up with an early Hanukkah present. Meanwhile, Wade informs Kim that Shego has stolen a powerful battery for Drakken, who plans to take over the world using his rocket, Drak Force 1. Ron, wanting to give Kim a better gift than Bueno Nacho coupons, decides to stop Drakken alone so she can enjoy Christmas with her family. Ron sneaks into Drakken's lair and retrieves the battery, but his fight with Drakken leads to the destruction of the communicator, the launch of all escape pods, and the rocket's self-destruction. They escape using the garbage disposal as a pod and crash in the Arctic, where they argue, engage in a snowball fight, and ultimately call for help. Drakken contacts Shego, who ignores him, leaving them stranded. Kim, alerted by Wade and a new communicator, searches for Ron across multiple locations, but finds only empty escape pods. Meanwhile, Drakken and Ron bond over their shared love of Snowman Hank after Ron informs him it was cancelled. Shego, upon hearing Drakken's voicemail, tracks him down using Extreme Xmas as a lead. As Kim loses hope, Jim and Tim inform her that Shego is being televised heading to the North Pole. Kim rushes there and fights Shego on jet-powered snowboards, with the battle being broadcast worldwide. She eventually finds Ron and Rufus building a snowman. Drakken surprisingly stops the fight and invites everyone to Christmas dinner. Kim kisses Ron on the cheek under a makeshift mistletoe, leaving everyone stunned. For the moment, heroes and villains share a peaceful Christmas, singing the Snowman Hank theme song together, though Drakken promises to resume villainy in the new year. In the next episode, on Mother's Day, Kim Possible and her mom Anne plan to spend the entire day together, despite Kim's typical crime-fighting responsibilities. When a mission comes up to stop Drakken from stealing a batch of synthoplasma, Kim reluctantly allows Anne to join as her temporary sidekick. Meanwhile, Ron is stuck cleaning out his family's garage, and Wade spoils his mother at home. Drakken has to hide his villainy from his visiting mother, pretending he's just a radio advice host. In the ensuing chaos, Drakken accidentally turns the stolen synthoplasma into a rampaging blob. Kim and Anne work as a team, with Anne even rescuing Kim from the monster. In the end, they defeat Drakken and Shego, reflecting that they've managed to spend Mother's Day together no matter what. Kim and Ron then use the now docile blob to clear out the Stoppable family's garage before returning it to the scientists. In the other episode, Kim and Ron are preparing for Middleton Days when Ron notices Kim's old crush, Josh Mankey, now dating Tara. Surprisingly, Kim is unfazed, while Ron learns that Tara once had a crush on him. Before they can process this, they rush off to stop Dr. Drakken Drakken and Shego from stealing Dr. Bortel's new invention, the electron magneto accelerator. During the fight, Kim and Shego accidentally get tagged by Bortel's modulators, devices that alter the wearer's emotions via a remote. Back home, Kim's emotions swing wildly, from intense sadness to anger, because Ron, mistaking the remote for a video game, keeps pressing its buttons. The same happens to Shego, who cycles through sobbing, rage, and other moods, thoroughly confusing Drakken. Eventually, Kim and Shigo's modulators settle on love, causing Kim to obsessively chase after Ron, while Shego turns smitten with Drakken. Ron, both flattered and terrified by Kim's sudden affection, fears damaging their friendship. During Middleton days, he tries to break up with her, but accidentally switches the remote to sad, causing Kim to flee in tears. Drakken seizes the remote to control Kim, but he overloads it, triggering a permanent rage in Kim and Shego. A furious Kim relentlessly chases Ron, and Shego hunts Drakken. In a final confrontation, Kim fries her modulator and returns to normal. She frees Ron from Shigo's wrath while Drakken flees. Ron tentatively asked whether Kim's feelings were solely due to the device. Kim smiles and hints there might still be fireworks between them, just as fireworks light up the sky. In the other episode, toy magnate Mr. Nakasumi again requests Kim Possible's help after Shego attempts to kidnap him for Dr. Drakken. Although Drakken fails initially, he secretly steals something from Nakasumi's jacket that is key to his latest plan, creating synthedrones, researching teenage girls, and producing the Little Diablo toys through the newly acquired Bueno Nacho chain. While Kim frets about prom and her lack of a steady boyfriend, she meets a new classmate named Eric and quickly falls for him. Meanwhile, Ron grows frustrated with changes at Bueno Nacho and realizes too late that he has feelings for Kim. Drakken kidnaps Kim's father to steal advanced cybertronic technology, which he uses to transform the Little Diablo toys into deadly robots controlled from Bueno Nacho's corporate headquarters. Ron's attempt to warn everyone at prom is dismissed, but Kim trusts him long enough to discover that Eric is actually a synthodrone created to get close to her. When Drakken nearly triumphs by unleashing giant Diablo robots worldwide, Ron's pep talk helps Kim regain her confidence. Armed with Wade's new battlesuit, Kim defeats Shego and Rufus sabotages Eric, freeing the world from Drakken's control. Returning to the prom hand in hand, Kim and Ron share their first real kiss, revealing their true feelings for each other at last. In the next episode, Ron has a nightmare about Kim turning into a synthodrone at their prom, waking up in a panic. He calls Kim at 3 a.m. to confirm she's real and to ask if they actually kissed. Kim reassures him but warns that their kisses might not continue if he keeps calling so late. The next day, Kim and Ron stop Professor Dementor from using an ultrasonic drill but fail to capture him. At school, Ron is excited about their senior year, but Bonnie criticizes his relationship with Kim, insisting she should date a jock instead. Kim dismisses Bonnie's comments, but Ron becomes insecure after misinterpreting a conversation between Kim and Monique. Believing Kim is thinking of dumping him for a jock, Ron decides to join the football team. At practice, Coach Barkin doubts Ron's abilities, and Ron struggles on the field. Meanwhile, Kim and Ron are tricked into helping an old woman rescue her cat, only to discover she's actually Professor Dementor in disguise. Dementor's robotic cat scans Kim's battlesuit, allowing him to collect valuable data before escaping. That night, Ron sneaks into Kim's room and steals her battlesuit, using it to dominate at football practice. He becomes the school's new star quarterback, shocking Kim and Bonnie. Kim grows suspicious of Ron's sudden skills. During a celebration at Bueno Nacho, Dementor bursts in, revealing he's built a device to take control of Kim's battlesuit. However, since Ron is still wearing it, Dementor accidentally takes control of him instead. Ron is forced to fight Kim and confesses that he stole the suit to prove himself. Kim is furious, but also clarifies that she never intended to trade up like he thought. Once Ron realizes his mistake and apologizes, he accidentally knocks Kim out. Dementor then removes the suit from Ron to wear it himself, intending to destroy Kim. However, Rufus sabotages Dementor's control panel, forcing him to punch himself repeatedly. In his next football game, Ron, now with the battle suit, relies on his natural agility and mad running away skills to dodge tackles and score a touchdown, securing his place as the team's new running back. Despite his success, Mr. Barkin punishes him with 20 laps for cheating his way onto the team in the first place. In the next episode, after escaping prison, the villain Electronique uses a modified attitudinator on Team Go and Shego to force them into her evil service. Unaware that Shego was already evil, Electronique accidentally turns her good instead. Calling herself Miss Go, Shego becomes a caring teacher at Middleton High, striking up a friendship with Kim and a romance with Mr. Barkin. Meanwhile, the rest of Team Go, now evil, wreaks havoc in Go City under Electronique's control. Kim, Ron, and Shego set out to save the day, but Electronique repeatedly misfires the attitudinator, causing heroes and villains to switch sides. events, briefly turning Ron evil again. Ultimately, Team Go is restored and Electronique is sent back to prison, briefly reformed by Ron before an accident destroys the Attitudinator. At the last moment, Drakken inadvertently ruins Shego's chance to remain good, returning her to evil and ending her friendship with Kim. In the series finale, as graduation day approaches, Kim and Ron stop Drakken's latest attempt at world domination using mutant plant technology. Drakken's failure leaves him with ridiculous flower petals growing out of his neck, while Kim and Ron head home to finalize their high school careers. Ron grows nervous after Mr. Barkin warns him that it's all downhill after graduation, especially since Kim has been accepted to many colleges while he's heard nothing. Meanwhile, strange markings are burned into golf courses worldwide. Suspecting Duff Killigan, Kim and Ron discover even his own lawn has been vandalized, leaving them without answers. Back in Middleton, Kim and Ron prepare for the ceremony. Kim, too, secretly feels anxious about the future. As they gather on the football field with their classmates, a mysterious beam of light suddenly descends from the sky, whisking Kim away mid-speech. At the same time, Drakken experiences a similar abduction at his lair. Panicked, the crowd scatters, and Ron, alone on the stage, shouts that he was the only one who saw disaster coming. Kim awakens inside an alien spaceship with Drakken. The captors reveal themselves as Warmonger and Warhawk, powerful extraterrestrials seeking vengeance on both Drakken, who once tricked Warmonger into believing he was the Great Blue, and Kim, who defeated Warmonger in a previous encounter. With Earth as their next conquest, Kim and Drakken must find a way to stop them, even as Ron remains on the ground, determined to rescue his best friend and save the planet. This concludes the whole story of Kim Possible. If you like my narration, you can press the like button of this video. See you in the next one. Bye!